took the lead. He didn't lead last year until lap 371. Went on to win it. The big difference, last year he started 39th. Today he started 15th. Vice versa. He started 15th last year, took a provisional, started 39th today, and came all the way to the front.
Taylor. You know, Jeff, I know we've talked about 2 tires or 4 tires. That's a long way to go 50 laps. And I'm watching Jeff Gordon. He is reeling Bobby Labonte in. He's faster right through the center of the quarter. But Darrell and I were talking earlier, Bobby Labonte has that clean racetrack where he can predict his line.
Yeah, but the thing is those 4 tires will overcome those 2. I'm pretty sure of that. And but it was a good call. I mean, look what he did. He got him the lead. Gave him a chance, and he didn't have a chance before that.
But Darrell, I think right now what's going to happen, once Jeff Gordon gets to him and starts to really work on him, and he gets up underneath him, which I think is what's going to happen here, I believe you'll see Jimmy Johnson and a couple other guys. Now you can see Jeff Gordon looking outside. That's what you can do with 4 tires. You can drive your car in more places and find where the grip is as Jeff Gordon right now looks inside of Bobby Labonte. And I really believe once he gets under him, several other guys will take advantage of it. We'll see bye-bye to Bobby Labonte.
I mean, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon's teammate in the Lowe's 48 car, he wants to get up there when Jeff Gordon pokes that hole. He can take advantage of it as well.
See, when you're on 2 tires, you kind of go where the car wants you to go. That's a little bit more. When you're on 4 tires, you can go the opposite way the guy in front of you goes. If he goes low, you can go high. If he goes high, you can go low.
No saving anything now, right?
Oh, no, baby. Just get up on the wheel, use up them brakes, use up that bumper if you have to.
And what we have to remember, Bobby Labonte has not been in the top 5 all day long. That move, if it don't win the race, and it still could, he still leads this thing, it'll probably buy him a better finish than he was going to have if he just followed the leader.
Watched the Busch race last night, the 21 payday car over there with, who's driving it this week?
Johnny Sauter.
He finished 2nd because of good pit strategy and hadn't been in the top 10 all night.
For the lead, Jeff Gordon, who led 176 laps thus far, battling Bobby Labonte, defending champion. Gordon, today's pole sitter.
As long as Bobby can accelerate up off of the track, off of turn 2 and 4, a lane up off the bottom, he's in the catbird seat.
It almost looks like Bobby's running a lower groove in 1 and 2, a little bit higher down in 3 and 4. Yeah, he ran the bottom in 3 and 4 that time.
You got to run the bottom right there. You got to come off there real low. The problem is the biggest problem here is getting off turn 2. That's where you pay the price. Right, Stewart right there, you get loose. You got the 24 and the 48 running 2nd and 3rd. Well, they changed a little bit that lap.
See that lap right there, though? Tony Stewart, he had the fastest speed that time. We have so much racing up there between the top 2, Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon.
I tell you one thing, Bobby Labonte is driving the wheels off his car right now.
And if he drives it in there too far, Jeff Gordon will be right there.
The thing he's got going for him is he can get off the corner. So far, so good.
I'm going to tell you who's driving the wheels off right now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that Budweiser car. He is all over the back of Jimmy Johnson. Pulls it inside. This is a battle for 4th. Can he win the race down into turn 3? Turns it down. Not quite. Again, getting good fight on the upper groove of turn 4 on the exit.
Not too far behind this little crowd either. Don't look. There's the 99 car of Burton and the 38 car of Sadler. They're in the picture.
Left side of your screen, the lead battle. On the right side of your screen, the race for 4th.
And you're right, Darrell, that race for 4th, it's about to become a 3-car battle because Jeff Burton, carrying the Muscular Dystrophy Association colors this week, he's right there with these guys.
I really thought Dale Jr. could just slip right by these guys as good as his car seemed to be earlier. But again, he had track position. He was out front.
And he's much faster than Jimmy Johnson right now. He keeps beating him, hanging on that rear bumper. Looks like he did last week at Talladega, but he just can't clear him and get by him.
Did this work last week?
Our spotters say Junior's not said a word on the radio since the last pit stop. So if there's something wrong with that car, he's not disclosed it to the crew.
Well, the thing about it, no sense in disclosing it now. Nothing that crew can do. It's up to him and that race car right now.
There's really nothing wrong. Sometimes, Mike, when you start to hustle your car, you find out it wasn't as good as you thought it was. Everybody else steps it up a notch, and you can't.
Speaking of stepping up a notch, Tony Stewart in the 20 car, he has caught that lead group up there, Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon. He's pulling right up to him, going down the backstretch.
Well, that 20 car has been really good all day long, and it's been able to run a really low line. comes off a corner.
Everybody who's involved with both of those teams and the structure there. Really interesting, Darrell. Whichever car wins, it doesn't matter. Everybody shares in the bonus pool.
I tell you, I wouldn't be nervous. I'd be happy.
Well, so far.
You know, the thing about Tony Stewart, Darrell, he has showed us all day long, as he did in the beginning of the race, he can run the low groove, but when he needs to, he can run the high groove.
Yeah, they adjusted around on that car, and they made it real good on, but he has the most trouble right there, Larry.
On turn 2.
He just can't get off of turn 2. Now, that just upsets the car so badly.
Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a little breathing room. He needs these guys to start battling up front.
But Tony Stewart just threw it into turn 3, 2 car lengths deeper than Gordon, and paid the price as Gordon goes for the lead.
Now, we can see if Gordon can get hooked up as he comes off of turn 2. That's the hardest place. Get loose, and see how Bobby gets a little run on him there. But now Gordon's good on this end down low.
Boy, you're right, Mike. Tony Stewart bails that thing in turn 3, and it stuck that time.
Now, Gordon clipped a curve that time coming out of 4. That's how low you try to get down there.
Labonte gives him enough room for his race car.
Now, see, Jeff will get loose again right here. He just can't get back to the throttle right there.
It's like Tony Stewart's back there waiting to see who's going to prevail, because that'll probably be the person he tries to follow.
I don't think he's waiting, Larry. I think he's coming as fast as he can.
They break even out of 4. Keep him pinned down. If you keep him pinned down, there's not a whole lot he can do. Keep him pinned down. Gets loose. Drag him down the straightaway.
What you have to remember, Bobby Labonte's out there on just those 2 right side tires, so he's really using those tires up right now, but he's doing what he has to do.
What Tony doesn't want to do is get up in there and distract Bobby Labonte, worrying about him. He wants to try to get by, but he needs to let Bobby keep the 24 car pinned down.
If Bobby Labonte has an advantage anywhere, it's on the exit of the corner. Right here, he gets such a good bite off turn 2 and turn 4.
Actually, Gordon's a little better off of 4. He gets it down there, but just when they get right there, you just can't get back to the throttle, and when you try to, you spin the rear tires.
And while they're doing this, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that Budweiser car, he's closing about 2/10 a lap.
This is going to be 4 cars under a blanket here any moment. 25 to go, 24 as they pass the line.
And Tony's going to get impatient because he's got to go.
He got a little impatient right there.
He's got to go. He's got to get by him because he sees Dale Jr. coming. We're running out of laps. We only got 24 to go.
3 hours and 15 minutes have come down to this. 20-some laps to go and side by side for the lead.
You're happy when your teammate's up there fighting for the win and you're right there behind him, but you're not happy when you see people catching you. Tony's loose off of 2 also. That's a problem area for him.
Yeah, you talk about 3 hours and something, 477 laps. Don't need no seats here. Everybody's standing up right now.
4 cars fight for the lead. 3 cars fight for 5th. Can it get any better than this?
I don't think so.
The thing that hurts Jeff Gordon is I think he's committed to the bottom. He can't really run off the corner high like the 18 car can.
There are the 2 battles for the lead on the left.
And see how they get. Bobby Labonte sort of pulls away when he gets Jeff Gordon out from underneath of him. Where he's not distracted.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Darrell, he is working that high line. He's caught Tony Stewart.
But back here behind him, man, here come some guys that are racing hard for 4th place, 5th place.
Elliott Sadler inside of Jeff Burton and going by Jimmy Johnson.
I really think it's cool for Elliott Sadler to be running as good as he is because the other night he just said, I don't like this place.
And I think it's cool for Jeff Burton in that 99 to be having a good run. Struggled so much this year.
And I think it's cool for Fox to show you at home 2 races at once.
We got 2 good races going on. First 4, next 3. 99 got into the 48 there, just about took him out. That's just driving in hard. He drove in hard, got in on the brakes and slid up into the 48.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., he went to the bottom of 3 and 4 then, but Tony Stewart, just like his teammate Bobby Labonte, good bite on the high side off turn 4.
Mr. Who's got the good shock package in there today.
Here comes Junior under Stewart, had a nose under there, couldn't do it.
Hard to make that move off the 2.
We're inside of 20 to go. Ryan Newman back in the race, but cannot improve his position. He's 46 laps down.
No, Jeff Gordon in the 24, we're down to about 18 laps to go. Jeff, it's like he's backed off just a little bit. I just wonder maybe he's trying to cool those tires down just a little bit, but keep Bobby Labonte with him.
I'm sure that's what he's trying to do right now, Larry. But
I really think that what Jeff Gordon did was backed off there for a little while. Might have been getting his brakes too hot. Cool things off a little bit and make another charge here. He's got to believe with four tires versus 2, he's got to have an advantage.
But I'm impressed with that 18 car, Darrell, with those 2 tires. I mean, what a great call on this guy's part.
Now, if I was a crew chief, that's when I would be excited. I made that call. I gave him 2 tires. I got the lead. I might be able to win. I'd be excited if I was Fatback.
A page out of last year's book, as Jeannie told us earlier. 2 tires on the last stop was what put Bobby Labonte in position to win here.
Now, what happened that time, Larry, is the 24 car went up high off of turn 2. Got that run off of 4. He's getting a little closer every lap now. He's inching in there, getting a little closer.
Did it. Did it. And traffic ahead, and Junior's there, too.
Look at Bobby Labonte. He's not ready to give up just yet, though, Mike. He gets beside him into turn 3. He got a good bite on the bottom of the racetrack right there. And look at Darren Hart Jr. He's right there as well.
I have to give Bobby Labonte a lot of E for effort. I mean, he's put a lot into it. Oh, Terry Labonte's down here in turn 4.
Terry Labonte spun around, caution in the air. Oh, boy. 13 laps to go. The caution flag waves for Terry.
He Rudd, it's a no-brainer. 12 cars on the lead lap. He was running 12. Get you 4 fresh tires.
I don't know if I can't make up my mind if this is helping anybody or not. I mean, I think that the cards have been dealt with 4 tires versus 2 tires. If it helped anybody, it helped Elliott Sadler.
It's just helping them catch their breath, Darrell.
That's kind of it.
Because I'll tell you, that's about the best 30 laps of short track racing we've seen in a long, long time.
It's really intense, and that's what they've done to this racetrack, Mike. They've given it you've got 2 options now. You can hook the bottom and try to make it come off, or you can roll around the top and get that good straightaway speed.
Darrell and Larry, think about it like this right now. Where we are when they get ready to give these guys 1 to go, we'll be inside the 10-lap rule. That means all these lap cars that have been kind of like creating issues during the course of the day, they won't be up there. It'll be all elite cars on their single-file restart.
Single-file restart. But the thing that none of these guys can do, Darrell, you know this better than any of us, is easy on this restart, aggressive but easy. Don't spin those hot tires.
Ooh, buddy. And with those low gears in there, and you've got to be on your toes, because you can buzz the rear tires real easy. Keep them cleaned up. See those guys up front there. Keep them cleaned up.
They did, but they did give the 10 lap to go sign. Jeff Gordon trying to win from the pole. Bobby Labonte trying to win only his 2nd short track race ever. Rick Hendrick looks on. The owner of Gordon's car, Dale Earnhardt Jr., trying to win his 2nd ever short track race and maybe take the point lead for the first time ever, and Tony Stewart still in it.
Rick Hendricks had a pretty big weekend. He won the ARCA race over in Nashville, and Brian, the little kid who drives the 5 car, Vickers, he had the best car. He and Bobby Jr. did in the Busch race, almost won that. Got caught by caution, leading the race here today. He's had a pretty big weekend there.
And that ARCA race was actually Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch's younger brother.
Yeah, 17 years old.
It's hard to believe Jeff Gordon has not won since Kansas back in September, so he's had a little dry spell here as far as getting to victory lane.
Yeah,
I don't know, Toto.
Toto's right there behind him.
We're not in Kansas anymore. But we are set to go, and when we come back around, it'll be 8 laps to go.
I think the thing that's going to happen here is you got to watch the 18. He happens to get under the 24 going into turn 1. He make a little contact. Dale Jr. opens the door for him. Dale Jr.'s laying back a tad, laying back, trying to anticipate the start. Didn't do it.
Let's find out. 8 laps to go. Nobody's left. Nobody's sitting down.
For Jeff Gordon, he got quite a jump on that restart.
Yeah, he did. He really, Bobby Labonte didn't anticipate that quite as good as he should have, and Gordon got a jump on him.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. works the high groove.
Got to be careful. Every time you open up, every time you go high like that, Tony Stewart's there to stick the nose in.
And now Bobby Labonte's got to play defense.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon, he just keeps pulling away by about 2/10 a lap here, just the first 2 laps.
All clear.
Magic words. Your fastest car and you're pulling away.
The 5 laps to go this time. Looks like the race is pretty much back up to 2nd go.
Ricky Rudd's new tires paid off. He restarted 12. He's up to 10.
He's battling right now. battling Jimmy Johnson, the 48 car. He already went by Rusty Wallace, so he's picked up 4 positions, just 4 laps. But boy, he drove it in too hard.
They were
in the tires.
Those Mr. Feel Good for feeling too good. Got 17 around.
Kenseth, the point leader, spins, gets into...
No caution yet. But boy, it stacked the field up.
Boy, the cars behind him almost stopped.
They're still not going.
It's just so bad because you can't see it. Bush got a flat tire. And
This could be the race.
we got
Leader did not get the caution. There is no caution.
But he's laying right in the bottom of the groove in turn 2. The caution will be out. This will be for the race right here.
Come on.
This will be for the race. Come on. Dale Earnhardt Jr. He batted Bobby Labonte for second.
Labonte lifted. Junior didn't, but couldn't run over top of him. Here comes Gordon to the
Look at
final
the battle
flag.
for fourth, though, Mike. Look at them. They're 3 wide sideways off turn 4.
And I don't believe...
He's turning Elliott Sadler sideways in turn 3 right now.
he's a little ticked, but okay.
I don't believe we can get this restarted unless they give one to go right now. Even so, white flag. Now we're at 499. Well, we anticipated a big battle to the finish, but that prior caution flag let Jeff Gordon scoot away. Nobody has won yet from the front row this year.
Until now.
How about it? 9 races, 9 winners. You don't think Winston Cup race is competitive?
I love this place.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going to tell you, 500 laps up here today and 250 laps with you yesterday. I don't know how much more I can take.
Let's don't stay around for practice, okay?
And Kenny Schrader came to the line 10th, and Schrader's going to get his first top 10 finish since the Southern 500 2001. Good for him. Attaboy, and that's the first top 15 for BAM Racing. But Jeff Gordon, with a push from Bobby Labonte across the line, is going to win the Virginia 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes home 3rd. Jeff Burton is 4th. Elliott Sadler is 5th. Tony Stewart, Sterling Marlin, Rusty Wallace, Jimmy Johnson, and Schrader are the top 10. Chevy congratulates Jeff Gordon and the number 24 Monte Carlo on today's win. Another reason why Chevy says wherever there's a winner's circle, we'll be there. There's the winning pass, our Chevy winning moment. Three Chevys, 2 Fords, a Chevy, 3 Dodges in the top 10.
Jeff Burton, good run for that group. Finishes 4th. And again, tip you hat to Michael McSwing. It didn't win the race, but boy, it got him 2nd place with that 2-tire stop.
Sure did. Elliott Sadler, I mean, that was a bold move he made going down there into turn 3, but we're coming to the checkered flag, basically.
And Jeff Gordon's going to make some donuts.
Pretty good donuts right there.
Fox welcomes you back live. Jeff Gordon ends a streak of 15 consecutive races without a win, winning his 62nd career Winston Cup victory. It is the Virginia 500 post-race show. Let's go down and join Steve Burns.
And Chris, Jeff Gordon out of the race car. Salutes the fans. Hey, Jeff. Congratulated by Rick Hendrick. Jeff, tell us about your duel with Bobby Labonte there at the end of this race. Did you wait to set him up? Tell us about the duel.
Well, they made a heck of a call on the pitch. You know, I saw Bobby back there, you know, before that, and looked like he had a pretty decent car, and they got track position. And I thought I could get by him, you know, earlier, but I got beside him, and my car was just a little bit too tight on the bottom, and he was holding the line, you know, so I couldn't do anything. And we rubbed a little bit, and I tapped him a little bit there going into one, but I think, you know, I had a much faster car, and he knew that, and, you know, it's just a great day for us. I felt good about today. Something just told me today was going to be a good day, and, man, what an awesome team. What an awesome crew, baby, right here, man. Robbie Loomis, all the guys in this DuPont Chevrolet. Incredible day. What an amazing car I had today.
Jeff Gordon wins from the pole. Let's go to Matt.
After a fifth.
Not too bad. Congratulations.
Jeannie, this is a great place to come to a race, and this is where victory lane should be, right at the start-finish line, right in front of the fans, so they can enjoy it. Jeff Gordon, fourth Martinsville win, 67 of his career.
What I like about
Jeff Gordon, who began racing at age 5 in California before moving to Indiana, won more than 600 short track wins as a youngster, in the hunt here as well. In the points you see, he's up to third.
A good finish for him today.
Terrific racing towards the finish. And in 2 weeks, the scene shifting to NASCAR this morning, presented by Smirnoff Triple Ice. That's on Fox Sports Net. Winston Cup Racing with the Auto Club 500 presented by UPS on Fox. It's 2 weeks from today, NASCAR returning across the Fox networks. And due to Winston Cup this season, the McDuff operated on by Gary Lang and David Hill. For all of us here, I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for watching. Jeff Gordon, the champ. Have a happy Easter if we don't see you.
Well, just thinking about Jeff Gordon being out front here, going for the sweep at Martinsville, as you talked about. Fred Lorenzen, the only driver to win the pole for both races in the same season and win the race here. Jeff's out front, and his pit crew helped get him there. Here are the guys that got the job done.
Hi, I'm Robbie Loomis, crew chief, Forest City, Florida.
Jay Lupo, front windshield, Cleveland, Ohio. Craig Curione, front tire carrier from Sanborn, New York.
Shane Parsonal, front tire changer, Oswego, New York.
Jeff Cook, Jackman, Charlotte, North Carolina.
My name's Steve Letarte. I'm the rear tire carrier. I'm from Cornish, Maine.
Shane Church, rear tire changer, Rushville, Indiana.
Jeff Craven, gas man, High Point, North Carolina. Caleb Hurd, catch can, Pulaski, Virginia.
If Jeff Gordon stays out front and wins this race, it's more than a victory. When I talked to him out of the Discover Card Countdown to Green earlier today and asked him if they could finish as high as second in the points, you could see him light up. It's obviously something they've thought about. The championship may be out of the picture, but jumping to second certainly is not.
You can tell Jeff's been down on the bottom of the racetrack all day. The left side does not have a mark. Yeah. The right side's all tore up. Well, not tore up, but a lot of tire marks and scuff marks.
Restart with 60 laps to go. Ricky Craven in the 32 trying to get one of 3 laps he's lost back from the race leader. Kind of been a tough day for Ty Ride. Jeff Gordon leading, Jimmy Johnson second, Tony Stewart third, Ryan Newman fourth, Terry Labonte in fifth, then Ken Schrader in sixth. Followed
if he gets by the cars between him and Jeff.
Let's check the speeds at the line. We'll see the top 10. Jeff Gordon's last pit stop was at lap 3:55. Dale Jr. pitted at lap 4:06.
Has saved with Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, all these guys saved hot laps on those tires.
Let's check speeds at the line again. Now that Junior's fast, can he get through him? And these are not going to be easy passes. He's going to have a hard time passing Ryan Newman, and he's going to have a hard time passing Tony Stewart.
Well, I think he'll start using the bumper if he has to. He's going to, I mean, he can't.
The 12th place then, and that was the track position he lost that he hasn't been able to make back up. This pack hasn't slowed Jeff Gordon down as much as I thought it might. He's really moved through them pretty cleanly. He's getting a lot of courtesy from the other drivers.
Yeah. And that's the benefit you have when you're the leader. They're going to be looking for you. You know, there's a leader behind you. You don't worry about the third place or the fourth place car so much as you do the leader.
Let's check in on our top 10 drivers with 18 laps to go. Marty?
Jeff Gordon is going for the perfect 2003 record at Martinsville, Allen. 2 poles and 2 wins. The last time he pulled off a season sweep at a racetrack, believe it or not, 1998 at Rockingham. He's only done it 3 times in his career, going for his 4th. Matt?
Jimmy Johnson.
And Jeff Gordon continue to slice through the field. He's gotten through this traffic very cleanly. He's just put his teammate Joe Nemechek back a lap down, or a lap down. So Nemechek, the 20th place car, is now a lap down to the race leader. It's funny, this race opened with a long stretch of green flag racing that Jeff Gordon dominated. It's going to close with a long stretch of green flag racing that Jeff Gordon is apparently going to dominate.
But he's got to be careful passing these lap cars. How many times today have we seen a fast car rub up against a slow car and puncture a tire? And if that happens right now, Jimmy Johnson is only 1 second behind him.
Yeah, just see 38 car lays over. And you're right, BP. You can give these guys plenty of room.
is Elliott Sadler. Jimmy Johnson just not able to close up any more than about 7/8 tenths of a second behind Jeff Gordon.
And one good thing for Jeff is that these guys he's following, that he's putting a lap down or more, are running single file. They're not racing side by side for position right now.
Well, Jeff Gordon started on pole today. Dominated the early laps of this race. Then got kind of shuffled back in traffic. Had a problem on a pit stop that cost him some time on one of his early pit stops. Dug back out from that. Then his crew got him the lead off a set of pit stops and put him back out in front. And he just hasn't yielded. And for Jeff Gordon, now 5 laps to go, less than 5 to go. Jeff Gordon has finished 5th the last 4 straight weeks. And his record here at Martinsville is pretty solid. 11 top 5s, 15 top 10s in 21 races here. But let's talk about the man who is about to take the white flag, Jeff Gordon. Last win for Jeff Gordon was here at Martinsville in April. Had some troubles over the summer that dropped him to 6th in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings, 1 lap away from the checkered flag. Good pit work, a good handling car, and track position when they needed it. Going to be the recipe for victory today for this 24 team. And a season sweep at Martinsville for Jeff Gordon as he wins the Subway 500 by 1 second over his teammate Jimmy Johnson. 311 of the 500 laps Jeff Gordon will have led today.
Pretty dominating, isn't it?
At least Rick Hendrick did not have two cars crash each other at Martinsville this time.
That Monday morning meeting will be a little bit more pleasant than the last time.
Oh, I think he'll be pretty happy. First season sweep at Martinsville since Rusty Wallace did it in 1994. Jeff Gordon with his 5th victory at this track. He led the final 295 laps.
This morning, April was a long time ago. Same feelings, and were you worried about Junior with the fresh tires?
Really worried. I watched Junior. That's the longest 50 laps I think I ran there at the end of the race. But really got to thank Rick Hendrick, like say hello to Papa Joe at home, and John Hendrick. It's just this team has been incredible. The strength they've had, they showed through the tough times, and come back here and be in victory lane at Martinsville. I love Martinsville, I always have, and it's a special place. Really nice to be here.
Robbie's hometown, about 30 miles down the road. Win number 64 for Jeff Gordon in his career.
Nice little burnout there, standing still in place. That'll be our Chevy winning moment. Jeff Gordon, today's winner. In the number 24 Monte Carlo, Jeff will tell you the only thing that comes close to Monte Carlo's reputation on the track is its reputation on the street. More champions depend on Chevy. We'll be there.
That's a pretty cool shot as he drives in through the smoke to victory lane.
He always had a lot more tire than we thought, Benny.
He must have. Definitely laid down some rubber, didn't he?
Second win of 2003 for Jeff Gordon. And Matt Kenseth coming up with a 13th place finish. Kevin Harvick wound up 7th. Championship gets a little bit tighter here today. Now just 4 races to go.
Where in the world do all those people come from so quickly?
Well, let's see. You got your photographers. And you got your team members.
Actually, 2 teams.
Yeah. All right, while we wait for Jeff to get ready to talk to us, let's hear from Matt.
Where Jeff Gordon on the front stretch climbs out after sweeping both races at the same track for the 4th time in his Winston Cup career. And it's another season of double-digit wins for Jeff Gordon. And I just got a Pepsi shower. I need the towel after that. That's okay. Congratulations. Let's talk about pit road, first of all. Oh, here's a car owner, Rick Hendrick, coming in. Tell me about pit road, first of all. Some good stops and one bad one. You had to work your way through the field.
Well, we took 2 tires at one time, and it wasn't so much the 2 tires as a lap car knocked me up high, and 3 or 4 cars got by me and just couldn't ever make up that deficit. And tell you what, this thing on new tires was a rocket ship, and not too bad there at the end either. And my teammate Jimmy Johnson was pushing me hard. I couldn't make any mistakes, or he would have gotten by me. But can we race at Martinsville every weekend?
You like this place, huh?
I do. Just want to thank DuPont and Pepsi, GMAC, Fritos, Quaker State. Everybody, Haas. Everybody that just really makes this team what it is. And tell you what, it takes a lot to have the expectations that we have on ourselves to go that long without winning. But if you don't have a team like this and a guy like this making the calls, you're not going to get back to victory lane.
4 to go, Jeff. How many more of those can you win? You have a reputation for finishing strong.
Well, I think, we've really come on strong here. I mean, we what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In August, tore a lot of people down, but we kept our heads up strong and straight. And our race cars are awesome. Our race team is awesome. And, I'm looking forward to the rest of them.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jeff Gordon and the 24 crew celebrate in victory lane. Marty?
Meanwhile, his teammate and car owner, or his employee, Jimmy Johnson over here finishing second.
Check with Dave here in just a second as he follows up on a story for us down in the NASCAR Winston Cup garage. Jeff Gordon in victory lane. Dave, you got it?
Matt, 13th place today, and at the
Jeff Gordon's 63rd NASCAR Winston Cup win. When there was some contention about when the pits were open, but our replay showed that the green flag was waving in plenty of time.
Yes, those guys just missed it because they're not accustomed to seeing it. They didn't feel like it was going to be out then.
There's the unique trophy they give for winning a race at Martinsville, a nice grandfather clock. And next weekend, the race for NASCAR's championships moves on to Atlanta. The Aaron's 312 on TNT Saturday at 1 Eastern. Wally's Racing next Sunday. NASCAR Winston Cup Racing presented by Home Depot. We start at noon Eastern with Discover Card Countdown to Green. Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson closing in as the two for a pretty hard-looking crash on Steve Park's behalf as we watch Dale Jr. try to hold off Jeff Gordon for second place. But the 24 is through. Marty?
Unfortunately, Steve Park is okay. Looked like the fender, left front tire, had been rubbing a long time on the fender, Steve.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Goodyear brought a great tire here, and it's not Goodyear's fault. We just had a tire rub and, made some pit stops and just really couldn't get the tire off, the fender off the tire, and it finally cut it down. And I can tell you what, you can't knock the walls down here in Atlanta. So just want to tell my mom and dad I'm okay, and just a little banged up, a little sore on the right side. Guys checked me out in the infield care center, did a great job, and just shame for the whole AOL GM car team. We thought we had a handle on things, and we got that tire rub, and we were just trying to get it beat out so it wouldn't rub on the tires, and just didn't last long enough.
A little soreness around the right side ribs, otherwise okay for Steve Park.
So Steve out of the race along with Michael Waltrip, Mark Martin.
Bobby Labonte in the 18 car, that green car right there with Jeff Gordon in the orange 24, beating down on him, trying to rope him in here at Atlanta. Two guys that know all about going to victory lane at this mile-and-a-half track. We're ready to take you through the field. Let's start with the guy up front. That'd be Bobby Labonte, and Matt Yocum's had his pit all day.
From Daytona through Daytona, Bobby Labonte had 10 top 5 finishes, but their momentum shifted in that fiery crash in Chicago when they lost their Atlanta winner. They're trying to get that back. Bobby hasn't said anything on the radio, even after that little bobble with the 8. Fatback said, just get back in your rhythm, and that's exactly what he did, Bill.
Jeff Gordon hasn't said a word in that 24 car since he cleared the 48. He knows the car is good, has been good on long runs, just trying to catch, then pass the bottom. Dave?
Jimmy here is TNT Sports, brings you live NASCAR racing from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're into the final 100 miles of this 500-mile race. Jeff Gordon beginning to stalk Bobby Labonte for the lead. Behind them, Tony Stewart has taken 4th place away from Dale Earnhardt Jr. and is trying to close on the front 3.
Jeff Gordon runs right on the bottom in 3 and 4 and right up along the wall in 1 and 2. And when he moved to that, when he started doing that, he really started catching the 18. See if he does it this time. Yep, up to the top.
And right here, off of turn 2 is where he's getting a big run.
Yeah, got a lot. He's carrying a lot of momentum. Off of turn 2, he's not binding the car up when you're up high like that. Now they almost flip. 18 runs in the middle of the racetrack, and Jeff Gordon runs right on the white line. But that's what I was saying earlier. You have to search. There's all different combinations to find out what looks the best on the watch.
But it's so great to have a racetrack where you can't
absolutely
do that.
Yeah, I mean, this, Atlanta, you can, obviously, I mean, the groove is not a foot off the wall right there.
And just ahead of them, Kevin Harvick, second place man of the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. Led, dominated the early part of the race, and he's about to go a lap down after getting pinched into the wall when Dave Blaney spun back at lap 201. So a championship opportunity to gain points on Matt Kenseth missed today for Harvick when he got swept up in an incident. By the way, Blaney has just retired his car from the race with that accident damage. He's going to finish 37th. Well, that's going to give Jeff Gordon a huge run at Bobby. Just getting hung side by side with Harvick exiting turn 2.
And also, he picked up a big draft off of both those cars. Two cars running side by side down the backstretch. Puts off a big draft.
So for the race lead, Gordon going to look down low.
Where he had been running high the last 4 laps.
Got to go where the other guy isn't. You can't go through him. Some drivers think that from time to time, but
can, but Bill, what are they saying about 24 right now? Just looking pretty good.
Yeah, he is getting ready to pit here too, Wally. But remember yesterday, we talked about how in practice here on Saturday, he ran several different lines all over this racetrack to find out which would be the best in certain situations. And I think he's using that to his advantage now.
And I think that highlight is the one he needs to use, because that's the one that seems like he makes up all the time on Bobby.
If you're the 18, if you're Bobby, how much of the line you're choosing is purely based on your car? How much of it's based on what's going on in the mirror?
Oh, I don't think you're really worried about the guy in your mirror.
Well, he's not going to be in his mirror anymore. Jeff Gordon with the nose out in front at the start-finish line. 50 laps to go. But he hasn't finished the pass yet.
Well, Bobby Labonte will pull back ahead now, going down the backstretch, because he's got the momentum.
Michael McSwain, fatback. Bobby Labonte's crew chief. Looking on, watching his car, and having to decide when to bring Labonte in for his final pit stop. We're going to start to see, as Bill said, we're going to start to see these pit stops for the leaders soon. They were last in at lap 224.
And what little changes they're going to make. They can't make big changes because they can't spend a lot of time on pit road, especially if it's under the green. So you'll probably see a lot of tire pressure changes. Maybe a track bar.
Gordon looking for the lead again to the inside. Has he got it this time?
Yep.
Jeff Gordon back out in front. Matt?
We are between 11 and 14 laps from the 18 making their final stop. Bobby Labonte hasn't said a word on the radio. No thought yet on what to do to that race car on that final stop to make it just a tick better.
We need to be talking about it pretty soon.
Now, where's Tony Stewart? Check back from those top 2. There's Jimmy Johnson in 3rd. Remember, talking about pit crews and pit stops, we've seen a couple of times already today people with problems. Ward Burton is leaving pit road, and now Robbie Gordon is on pit road, but none of the top 5 have stopped yet. And you and I were just debating around strategy, if you're Bobby Labonte's team, about when and how long to wait to pit. He's obviously...
Jeff Gordon, a winner a week ago Sunday at Martinsville, trying for 2 in a row. Says the car started out loose, but it's pretty darn good. It's 4 tires and fuel. This should be the final green flag stop, Matt.
The 24 is going to beat him off.
He let him in, but Tony has gained a little ground on that pit stop. He's gained some ground on the pit stop. Jimmy Johnson and Bobby Labonte along with Dale Earnhardt. And the cycle of pit stops basically complete for the leaders. Jeff Gordon leads Tony Stewart by 1.1 seconds, Bill.
But the message to Jeff Gordon was this: you have Stewart coming hard, Jeff. Get all you can.
Well, as we've talked about several times, the longer you run on a set of tires, the better against the competition Tony Stewart seems to be. 34 to go. If they all run under green, Jeff Gordon better get all he can.
Yeah, Stewart's car is very fast right now. Jeff is working the bottom lane. He normally does that right after a pit stop. Then he starts looking a little bit higher up the racetrack in the corners.
Jeff Gordon's lead on Tony Stewart. Now 0.3 of a second and shrinking.
Yep, it's dwindling.
Two of NASCAR racing's most popular drivers. Two champions. Racing for the win in the final laps. Gordon cannot like seeing this orange car here, knowing as strong as it's been all day.
And Tony Stewart can stay on the bottom and get right behind Jeff and get that car loosened up. He's going to make the pass pretty easy.
Jeff Gordon's not going to make it easy.
No, he's not going to make it easy, but like I said, if Tony gets close enough to now, Jeff may go to the high side once Tony gets a little bit closer, anticipating that.
Last 5 weeks for Tony Stewart, third, fourth, first, and third. Championship form back for the defending Winston Cup titleist after a struggling summer of 2003. Competitive race today, 12 different leaders, 28 lead changes, a lot of caution flags. Stewart has led the most laps, 109, followed by Bobby Labonte, Kevin Harvick. Other significant lap leaders today, Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Ryan Newman. A lot of attrition today, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars that are wounded out there right now as well. Not one of them. 22 car, Scott Wimmer.
Here are the guys that have dominated the last few weeks. Gordon, Stewart, Johnson, done a lot of leading. So assuming the caution does not come out, everybody's got the tires they're going to finish the race on. And now it's up to the guy behind the wheel to work the racetrack and find a way to get his car the most grip.
Well, the 24 car looks like he needs a little look. It looked like he got loose again.
Marty Kurt Busch has had a day.
Jeff Gordon's coming up on some traffic. Could be interesting.
Earnhardt Jr. going to take over second spot as they run if they finish now in the championship. Jr. running 7th, Kenseth 12th, and Harvick now back in 23rd. Here's that traffic you were talking about.
Yeah, he's got quite a few cars ahead of him right now.
It's Casey Mears they just went around.
And all you have to do is catch one car the wrong way, and all the work you've done trying to keep Tony Stewart behind you goes away. And Stewart's hoping that Jeff catches that one car the wrong way.
Oh, Earnhardt Jr. upper box with a little wiggle and wobble. Ryan Newman's going to try him again for 7th spot.
Nope, that high line is to be the advantage.
A little more mow.
Yeah.
21 to go.
Stewart just, he kind of gains a little bit, and then all of a sudden he loses it back.
Tony Raines in the 74 is now 1 lap down in the race in the box there, so even though he's passing some of those guys, that's not for position. Here's where the attention is at the race lead. Tony Stewart trying to get back from Jeff Gordon in the top spot. Tony Stewart had a huge lead, erased by a crash at lap 200. Then on the pit stops, they had a left front lug nut pop off. He fell from 1st to 4th. Then later on a pit stop, with 101 to go, he went from 7th to 17th rather, when they had a lug jam in the rear air gun while they were trying to change the left rear tire. NASCAR rules, you're only allowed to bring 2 air guns over the wall, so they had to wait until the front tire changer finished his work, then bring the gun to the back and change the back tire. And Stewart's got all the way back to 17th. Charged his way back through the field, has gotten cleanly through his last stop and closed some ground on Jeff Gordon. Now the question is, will his car be stronger over these final miles than Gordon's, which has been a trend throughout this race?
And Tony Stewart's car looks like it's a little bit better in turns 1 and 2. And that is where he's making up the little bit of time he is getting on Jeff. But Jeff looks like he's getting 2, 3, and 4 a little bit better.
While we watch the race for the lead, we check the championship leader, Matt Kenseth. He's in 12th place, Bill.
And coming into this race, Alan, with that 240-point lead in the championship standings, 12 or better in the final 4 races, would lock up the championship for Matt. Right now, right on the money, but Harvick having a disappointing day.
17 to go as Jeff Gordon puts a lap on Jamie McMurray, the 16th place car. NBA opening night on TNT tomorrow. The Spurs in San Antonio take on the Suns, and the Mavs battle the Lakers. Coverage starting at 7 Eastern time. It's TNT NBA tomorrow. Let the truth be told.
I wonder if this set of tires here for Stewart is just not to his liking. Because we should see at this point him really making gains like he had been up until this point in the race. But Gordon is not giving it to him. Matt, what are they saying about 20?
Well, Tony Stewart hasn't said a word. Spotter Mark Robertson said 2 laps ago, the line you just were on was the best one I've seen you run in a while. Tony will admit, though, that he is a little superstitious. Hates $50 bills. Engine builder Mark Quanquist, not superstitious. But before he left his house to go to Charlotte, his 4-year-old daughter Megan gave him a bow. Said, Dad, dispose for good luck, that your engines run long, fast, last all day, and hopefully go to victory lane. The 20 car did. She made him a new boat for Martinsville. They lost an engine. Mark said, I'm not superstitious, but I went back and got the boat from Charlotte. Right now, Megan's dad's engines are running in 2nd and 5th. Running strong, long, and they're hoping to victory lane.
Well, Jeff Gordon hopes that isn't the case. Not a word said on his radio. Just the spotter and his crew chief, Robbie Loomis, just told him how many laps were left in the race. But Jeff has not said a word. And Wally, I think one of the reasons that Tony hasn't been able to get by him is that maybe we didn't give that 24 car enough credit for being how good it has been in this race.
I think you're right, Bill, because he's definitely faster than Tony Stewart. He's starting to stretch it a little bit right now. And the thing about Jeff right now is he is all over the track. I mean, he's really searching for those grooves like we talked about all day. That's what you have to do, and that spotter has to help you and tell you where you're running fastest.
And indeed, the leader, Jeff Gordon, coming by. Looks like Tony's gained a little bit of that ground. He lost back
0.3 of a second that last lap.
Tony Stewart spoke earlier this week in Washington, D.C. before a meeting of the National Press Club. Along with NASCAR Chief Operating Officer George Pine, he was only the 2nd race driver able to speak there. The other was, naturally, Dale Earnhardt in 1998. Tony took questions about racing and his championship and the sport in general. He'd like to be taking questions in the press room here in Atlanta about a half an hour from now. He's got to get by Jeff Gordon first. Jeff Gordon, Jeff Gordon trying to win back-to-back races for what would be the 18th time in his Winston Cup career. That's that out earlier.
That's more heavy traffic up ahead.
Gordon finishing 2nd here back in March. 3-time Atlanta winner.
Now it's important here for the spotter of Jeff Gordon to go to these other cars and say, listen, my driver wants to pass you here. So that means, you know, if Jeff's car's working really good up on the high side, then they're going to ask those cars they're coming up on if they'll get down on the low side.
Check speeds at the line. Compare Gordon and Stewart. Tony a little bit faster. And Jimmy Johnson faster than both of them. A lot of the fans here beginning to get on their feet, seeing the drama of these final miles unfold. Oh, a little bobble there with Gordon's car. Back end got a little happy.
Yep, Jeff. Boy, that's not what you want to do, because if you have to get out of that throttle just a little bit, the 20 car is going to be by him.
8 laps to go.
He's got to drive smooth. But he does look like he's loose right now. And Tony Stewart sees that. Blood in the water. It's like, yep, if I can get to you, buddy, I'm going to make you a little bit more loose.
Coming up to put a lap on Kevin LePage. 15th place car, last on the lead lap. But Stewart, when you're behind that wheel of Stewart's car and you see that guy you're chasing, that's Jeff Gordon's radio.
Get out of the way. 4-car does, gets down on the bottom.
He waited a little too long to make that request. Spotter's going to have time to get that done for him. Anyways, what I was starting to say before, when you're in Tony Stewart's car and you see that little wiggle in front of you,
oh yeah, that's like, you get a little smile on your face. It's like, oh yeah, okay, good. You can smell the blood, but I'm telling you what, Gordon's doing a good job right now. If that car is loose,
yeah. That time it was Stewart who had the slight bobble.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff's driving the heck out of that thing.
It's amazing. 500 miles of racing, and it comes down to a matter of feet, yards, car lengths.
Happens a lot here in Atlanta.
Yeah. That's why the fans come. Great racetrack. And 5 laps to go. Greg Biffle's just taken his car to the garage. He'll be done for the day, shy of the checkered flag. All right, what's Kevin LePage's role here? Is he supposed to just move over and get out of the way and let these guys run? He's last on the lead lap.
I would. I mean, you know, if you're not racing anybody, which he isn't, but he's running pretty fast right now, too. Uh-oh.
Trouble down the backstretch. It's Ryan Newman. And Newman's in trouble from 6th place. We have just passed the point at which the red flag would not be used to ensure a green flag finish of this one. So the question is, can they get Newman's car and any debris out of the way quickly? Jeff Gordon got another lap out of it because the pace car didn't get him until just now. Go take the trip. And so this race is going to finish under caution because the yellow came out after the point at which they would use the red flag to ensure a green finish.
And that's a happy man because of it.
Yes, it is. Tony Stewart never got a chance to mount a finish somewhere back around 31st, 32nd.
We'll get back here one more time. Let's celebrate.
White flag for Jeff Gordon.
Nice job today. You drove your butt off and complete that lap. Well, it's all you guys in that pit, man. Great stops today. That's what did it for us.
101 to go. Jeff Gordon's crew got him out first. Then he and Bobby Labonte had a very torrid battle where they swapped the lead a couple times. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got into the mix there. And then on the final pit stops under green with 39 to go, Gordon's crew getting him out with an advantage over Tony Stewart that was just enough. And he managed to hold off Tony's late charge.
Yeah, those guys did a great job in the pits today. 24 car.
I'll tell you what, the driver, though, did a pretty good job behind the wheel, too. I mean, we could see how loose he was in that car.
And he wasn't giving it up.
So Jeff Gordon going to come back around and take the checkered flag. And Gordon will be today's winner. Chevy congratulates Jeff Gordon in the number 24 Monte Carlo. Jeff will tell you the only thing that comes close to Monte Carlo's reputation on the track is its reputation on the street. More champions depend on Chevy. You'll be there.
Not if you go over that wall to get by that line there.
For Jeff Gordon, it'll be his 3rd win of 2003 and back-to-back for Jeff. He went so long this season with the 1 win. Got one at Martinsville a week ago and then picked up another here in Atlanta today. His 6th straight top 5 finish. And Gordon locked in that very close fight for 2nd in the final NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings. Helps his cause today with maximum points for winning. Jeff Gordon is the winner in Atlanta.
Yeah, baby, 2 in a row. Come back 18 times. You are the man.
64th NASCAR Winston Cup win for Jeff Gordon. Tony Stewart finished 2nd, Jimmy Johnson 3rd, Bill Elliott 4th, and Bobby Labonte 5th. And Matt, that 24 pit crew, we were just talking about them. Great job today.
A lot of high fives from all the pit crew guys. Robbie Loomis, the guys did it over the wall just as well as your driver did it on the racetrack. Congratulations.
Yeah, the pit crew's been incredible. We've had a guy come in here, Shane, from the engine room working with us with Shane on the rear, Jeff Cook on the jack. Those guys, the pits have been on fire. And Brian Weitzel, the job he's done, you know, this year, I got to thank God. We've been through so much this year. It's built a lot of courage and strength in this team. But we're fighters. And like I say hello to Mr. Hendrick back home. home. Thank DuPont for all their support. Jimmy Johnson and Lowe Chevrolet coming in third. Good day for Hendrick Motorsports again.
6 straight top 5 finishes for Gordon. The 18th time in his career, he's backed up 1 win with another.
And we'll hear from Jeff in victory lane in just a moment or so. The race ending under caution after...
I don't believe Junior got into him. You know, he got into him after Ryan Newman got loose, and he got aero loose, and that's what happens when you slide a car in front of another car like that, getting off the corner. That happens.
That was a pretty aborted attempt at a donut. Tony Stewart finished second today. Let's hear from him.
Very good for Jimmy Johnson. Let's go and find out how his boss did today. Bill?
Jeff Gordon in victory lane in the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 18th time he's won back-to-back races. Last time he did it, Bristol and Darlington in 2002. And here's his crew chief, Robbie Loomis. Well, first of all, congratulations. Talking to you during the weekend, you seem pretty confident that you might end this race right here.
Well, I felt like we had a great race car, and we certainly did, you know, but we had an awesome pit crew today, and that's what got us into victory lane. What an amazing run for these guys in this DuPont Chevrolet. I mean, you know, we didn't have the best car on new tires. Bobby and Tony, maybe even Jimmy were a little bit better, but on those long runs, we were really awesome. And you know, I knew it was going to be tough to hold off Tony in the 20 car, and I'm kind of surprised that we did, but I learned a few things in that last run before that really helped me out and get by Bobby, and I just tried to run that line and, you know, get through lap traffic the best I could. You know, this is going to go down as a great victory for me, but by far the most embarrassing burnout I've ever seen in my life.
What happened there?
You know, the motor's been messing up all day long on the restarts, and it just loads up. The thing goes to spin the tires, it just starts cutting out, so I just said, forget it. I couldn't put on a show on. Put a show on for them. I hope they enjoyed the race instead.
They told you that Tony was coming to get all you could as quick as you could.
Well, he was really good on new tires, and, you know, I was trying to get all I could get, and we did the right adjustments. The car was definitely better. I'd been loose all day, and, you know, as he got to me, I started moving my line around and trying to kind of ride in front of him to block some air. And, you know, when he got to me, you know, he slowed down a little bit, and it looked like he backed off me, and then he came back after me, you know, and he kept making those surges, and he was making one right there, you know, with 4 or 5 to go, and the 4 car was in front of me, and you know, I just couldn't do much to get by him, so I was kind of at the mercy of the lap car and trying to just watch my mirror.
That's 3 wins this season, 3 races to go. How many more can you get?
Never count us out. You know, I know we hadn't won a whole lot this year, but we're strong finishers, and I'm so proud of this team and their efforts right now. You know, 5 straight great runs, or 6, and you know, we're going to keep it going.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Jeff Gordon celebrates in victory lane at Atlanta. Dave?
Bill Elliott's finish of 4th today.
Jeff Gordon with his 3rd win of this season. Jeff Gordon up to 5th. In the end, Jeff Gordon held off Tony Stewart in some final dramatic miles to pick up his 3rd win of 2003. Glad you joined us for our Monday matinee. We'll see you next weekend from the Valley of the Sun. The burnout wasn't good, but he's going to get the big trophy and the big check for winning today.